Hey, what's going on guys and welcome back to another video. So today I have that game 7 that I played versus the Max in the $1,000 show match a couple weeks ago. And this is basically the game where I pulled off that main builder that I showcased in my last video. So if you're not familiar with the last video, I recommend you guys go ahead and watch it first and then come back to this one. But basically the builder is one lumber camp, one range with a fast blacksmith with that early fletching. And it's a very aggressive builder that lets you also get a very fast castle time behind it. So I'm just going to go ahead and run through this recorded game, and I'll show you guys exactly how the builder works in a competitive atmosphere in a main war. Remember, the civs are exactly the same, so there's no kind of civ win or anything like that. However, you're going to see in this game his map is slightly worse, actually far worse with that forward gold, but we'll see how it plays out. Let's just get right into it here. So just a heads up, there is some laming that goes on in this game, but it ends up me just taking his boar and then him taking my boar. So in the end, we each trade one boar piece and end up with the standard two boars each. So it doesn't actually screw up the balance in terms of how much resources I have access to. Yeah, so you guys don't have to worry about anything like that. So just gonna start off by taking a look at my map here. So I've got my back wood line here, got my front wood line here, and I've got also one wood line to the back and kind of like to the side, but it's quite far away from my TC. So now I have to make a decision, since I'm only doing one lumber camp, which wood line to take, and the obvious choice would be this one in the back. You can see how I've scouted it here, and I know it's very secure. So I'm going to go ahead and go for that one. And then just looking around the rest of my map here, I've got a side gold, nothing crazy. Gold, my main gold is relatively protected, and I have a pretty easy wall here, and then just around with this wood line and then to this wood line, so kind of like an arc. So I already know exactly how I'm going to lay out my base, and as you can see, I've scouted pretty much all of that. And now I'm going to head out and look for a lane. Alright, so right here, before taking the boar, I want to scout his map a little bit just to see if I can call a restart because I did have one available to me. But I saw that he has a forward gold, and I decided, you know what, let's just take the boar, and then with this forward gold, I probably won't need to call a restart. He has a bad map. So that's what I was doing there with the scouting. So anyways, I'm going to take his boar, and then if you take a look at Max's position here, he's going to find my boar. He knows I lamed his boar, and so he's just going to take my boar as well. Managed to take a sheep, which I later find myself. Tried to block his eagle, didn't end up working, and we each just traded boar, and I think we'll be perfectly happy with that as well. So nothing crazy here. As far as Max's map here, he's got forward berries, forward stone, and forward gold, all under a big hill, so it's actually very uncomfortable for him to play it. So his map is terrible. His woodlands are fine though, he's got a decent amount of woodlands, although his map is relatively open. So he got a really bad map here, and he would probably have to play aggressive to make this one work. And if he starts falling behind on the aggression, or if he starts playing defensive, I'll probably just be able to take advantage of the hill, and that'll be all fine. So I'm just going for the berries here. Standard builder so far, 4 on wood. Gonna go to my berries. Gonna grab my second boar as well. Nothing crazy so far. I do find that sheep, and we have a slight eagle fight here. This is a pretty important battle because as you take a look at Max's fog of war, he hasn't really scouted my base at all, and there you go. He loses his eagle. It was completely RNG that fight, by the way. It could have went either way, but he hasn't actually scouted me. Whereas if you take a look at my scouting, well, I haven't scouted too much, but yeah, I still have my eagle alive. So, and I know he's got the forward gold. So I have the advantage already. But again, the game is by all means not over. And I'm just going to be going ahead with my barracks now. I usually like to get it after this house. There it is, barracks on the front towards my opponent. Very important that it's on the front because you want your men-at-arms to be going across the map as quickly as humanly possible. So definitely should build that barracks on the front. Send another village to the woodlands. I have 5 total. And now I'm scouting as well that he himself also added a barracks and will most likely go for men-at-arms. So I know exactly what he's going to do. He doesn't know what I'm going to do, but he can probably suspect that it's men-at-arms. Alright, I only have 3 on berries. I think that's, well, it's not really a big mistake, but it's probably a mistake. It's more efficient to have 4, definitely. Let's see if I end up fixing that up. And you might also see me make use of these deer in this game, but again, as I showed in the build, that is not necessary. We're both going to go up around the same time here, him slightly faster. And I'm going to go two villas to gold now at this point. And yeah, the build's looking pretty fine. I'm going to go ahead and wall up this side. So again, the beauty of this build is that it lets you it lets you be fully walled as well as having that aggressive opening. So it just does everything perfectly, pretty much. Alright, now he's going to have his men-at-arms queued up as well. Gonna be sending them out faster than me, so he got his men-at-arms slightly faster. He's going to be seeing a few farms, and well, we're both doing the similar build here with the one lumber camp, so both of us have the same thing going. I'm going to go for this fight in the center now. So notice how I cut him off there. I'm really keeping track. I want to be aggressive with this build. Notice how I'm trading. I'm going super aggressive. 4th minute arm coming in, something he couldn't really afford. And so right out of the opening, I'm getting a small advantage here, despite him getting the micro advantage over me and getting that free militia. Well, I still have 3 full HP militia, so I'm still in the driver's seat here. Range coming down immediately. In fact, faster than he is getting his range. Now, let me just quickly tab back here. I'm going to pause, tab back to my my map here. I've got 7, no, sorry, that's 8 villagers on wood here, as per the build. I've got a few villas on berries, and I've got a few villas taking the deer, which, like I said, you don't have to take, just because I had them close to the mill. And I'm going to be slowly walling up my map, as you will see very soon as well, playing it very safe, as you would a Game 7 of a $1,000 show match. Alright, so here I am, trying to be a little bit more aggressive here than he is. He's just being forced to defend. I decided to go in there, but then quickly pull back. I decided, you know, better to not risk it. And so let's see what I can do with these banner arms. Again, I'm attacking him because I'm quicker with my build, and I'm giving myself that chance of getting these early advantages. I try to block my eagle, but of course he's low, so I can't be too aggressive with him. And then behind this, I'm getting my range, and look at this, a fast blacksmith. What is TheMax doing? He can afford the blacksmith. He doesn't go for it, though, and that's going to be the big difference. He's getting down the blacksmith now, slightly later than me. So again, that's really the big difference between us here, and why I'm going to get that early game advantage. Look at the fletching, 13-minute fletching, and I'm already across the map with 2 archers. I don't wait. I don't give my opponent the chance to wall up, to build a tower, and to set up his archers as well. I'm going to get a really nice block here with my eagle. He could have probably just hit that eagle. It was on 2 HP, but I ended up getting a villager. Good play from him now is to gate up my men-at-arms. Very well done. But I take advantage of the situation and pick off his archer as well with my fast fletching archers. So good plays happening from both of us. Quite sloppy from Max here, losing another villager, but that would happen to any player who's under this amount of pressure with the fast fletching. And he still doesn't have it because his build is not perfected. He goes for the scale mail armor and kind of a desperate attempt to recover here. But as you can see, the damage is already done. I'm fully walled at home, and I have 4 archers with fletching here. Super aggressive right off the bat. Even up to get padded archer armor. You don't have to do this. I got it because I noticed he got scale mail armor on his melee units. I did some really good micro here as well. Pick off a lot of units. Again, he doesn't have fletching yet. So it's just super easy for me to micro this one out. And these few archers, you don't need 20 archers, 5 archers, and I'm able to get so much value with some practice here with this build order. Obviously, this takes a lot of micro, but nonetheless, it's still mostly out of the build order here. Alright, I decided to mix in a few eagles, which is going to be a really good choice if your opponent is going for skirmishers, and I end up getting a lot of value from this. From these few units. But again, don't be distracted by these fights. These fights aren't that important. What's important is the fact that I'm adding so many farms. Let's compare our farms. So I've got maybe, what is that, like 15 farmers, something like that? He's got, well, maybe like 3 less. So I'm up a few farms, and take a look at the resource in the bank. He's got no food. Granted, he's made some eagles and stuff like that, and I've got 500 food in the bank. It's absolutely insane what this builder can do for you. Wheelbarrow coming in now, and then afterwards I'll probably just look to click up. Still in the 1 range, by the way. Still, only 8 on the wood. Doesn't change. And instead of having 4 on berries, I decided to do 3 on berries and 2 on the deer. But even without the deer, this would work with just 4 on berries, no problem. Alright, so I'm now 3 villas ahead because I've killed 2, and maybe he had some idle time. I tried to get a little bit more harassment with my archers here. It doesn't end up amounting to much. Again, like, I'm not trying to end the game here. I already have a small advantage. I'm just trying to put myself further ahead, and I'm going to look to end the game in early castle age when I get that fast castle. And look at my resources. It's insane how much just a little bit of practice on this build can do for you. And in a main war, I'm clicking up 2102, whereas my opponent at the same time is struggling to get past 200 food. So again, this is just straight out of the build order. Nothing crazy happened in this game. I killed a couple villagers, but I didn't like completely deny his gold. I didn't completely deny his wood. I only killed a couple villas around and forced him to make a tower. So again, a lot of this advantage is coming from the map. He's got a bad map. I'll give him that. But also a lot of it is coming from the fact that my build order is just better than his. Alright, now he's going to swing around to the other side, and I'm already fully walled. So this is where the build is most vulnerable in the late feudal age. If he came with like 20 skirmishes, let's say he was in a better position, like an all-in feudal age 20 skirms, some towers, whatever feudal age army he could come with, I'm gonna be walled. So it's gonna buy me time and protect me in the most vulnerable part of the build, because obviously I don't have much military. Notice how I added the second range after clicking to Castle Age, and I'm just gonna put palisade gates behind so he cannot break in. I'm trying to conserve my archer numbers. So notice here, with my archers, I'm gonna try and go in, but I notice he's walled, so I just go back. I'm gonna wait till Castle Age here. Cool stuff. In Castle Age, again, crossbow, bodkin, bowsaw. I can afford everything because this build is practiced, it's known, and I know I can afford everything. Now I'm gonna attack with my archers. Bringing these archers here that I didn't waste. They would be crossbow soon, and I'm gonna attack with both of them at the same time. And again, I don't have that much military. Only 13, maybe 15 crossbows if I played it perfectly. But again, I have that tech advantage. He's still in the feudal age. In fact, he still hasn't clicked up. And you're going to see, how does he defend? There's just no way to defend. Even if he had a better map, he wouldn't be able to defend if he was still stuck in feudal age at this point. And he's just going to get absolutely destroyed by the crossbows. He's just going to go ahead and call it GG. And this is not an early GG. This is not, this is not a rated game where he wasn't playing his best or he wasn't trying his best. This is a final, game 7 of a show match, and I basically was able to win out of the opening. And I won't say this to give credit to myself, but rather to give credit to the build order, because I think the build order is really what did it in this game. Sure, I had some good micro, sure I was aggressive, but ultimately the fast castle, the faster castle time was what won me the game. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I hope you guys see just how powerful this build is in a competitive environment where both players are trying their best. Just a practice build order can help so much, so I recommend you guys really take the time to practice that specific build order, and if that one works for you, I recommend also checking out some other builders that I've done, or even other YouTubers in general. I think practicing builders is the best way to get better, and I do some coaching as well, so take my word for it when I say that starting with a good base in Dark Age and Feudal Age is definitely the way to slowly improve at this game. But as you can see here, 22 minutes in a mirror matchup in a tournament game. It's not something you see every day. And I think, we can learn, both me and Max, as well as a lot of you guys watching this game, can learn something here. So that's it for this video. If you guys enjoyed, drop a like and consider subscribing to check out more of my content. I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.